Okay, we are in Lisbon with Francisca Cortesão, who is the lead vocalist of Minta The Brook Trout. And I want to ask you, why this name? What does it mean?
The name was something that came up early on, but in two parts. First, Minta as an alter ego for me, because at the time my friend Nuno Rafael, who was producing my first EP, thought that I should come up with a name other than my own. And so I came up with Minta out of the pages of To the Lighthouse, a Virginia Woolf novel. Mm-hmm. Not because I read it or anything, I was just browsing through the pages and I found the name, and Minta is simultaneously, in the book it's the name of one of the characters, and I think it's a very, I've found meanwhile that it's a very common name in Indonesia and other countries in that part of the world, as I think a family name. But there it's a name of one of the female characters. But in Portuguese it's also a verb. It's to lie, and so I liked that there were at least two different meanings to the word. And then after I released the first album, You, which is a 5-song EP, in which I played most of the instruments and I had just friends over playing some parts, I found a band, a proper band to play with, and that's the Brook Trout, because we as a band thought that there should be a separation between Minta, which was me, and the Brook Trout, the people that were playing with me, just for everyone, I don't know, 100 people that knew about us at the time, for them to know that there had been a change and that it was no longer a singer-songwriter project, that it was a singer-songwriter and a band. Or as I've come to think of it, it's a band. It's just that I write the songs, but we work as a band, I think. And so Minta and the Brook Trout, long story short, Minta is me, the Brook Trout is the rest of the band. The Brook Trout is just a species of trout that you can find on Lake Michigan in America, and it's another reference to that part of the world, which is a part of the world that we're interested in musically and in terms of images, and a lot of our music ends up coming from there, even though we're here in Lisbon.
And also in your album, the covers are always with these animals, also landscapes that reminds me to that kind of environment. I mean, mountain environment with trees and wildlife. So this is your.
I think it's our world, and I think that I've had two different friends making covers for our records. The first one, the EP, it was João Maio Pinto, and he also did the cover for our second record, which is called Minta The Brook Trout. And he came up with the first cover, which is just a boy and a girl outside. It looks like they're camping somewhere in the mountains. He came up with that on his own. I didn't give him any instructions, and the one with the geese, we talked about that, but after that our friend José Feitouro made our last cover for Olympia with the bear, and the one before that for a live album that we did, and it has a huge whale in the sea, I suppose. I didn't tell him anything, so I think our music must transport them to those environments, and I think that's good when you don't have to explain things and everyone just kind of understands where the songs come from. I think that's ideal. I've had the privilege of having other people besides having a band who I love and who I communicate with very well. We have other people around us that I think also understand what we're trying to do. So in terms of artwork and also videos, we've had a group of friends around the band that has been helping us with the other media in a way that we couldn't do, but that is complementary, I think, to what we've been trying to do.
And also in your records have guests.
Yeah.
Often you have some guests.
Yeah. I think that the idea is pretty much the same. There's four of us, and there's only so much we can do. We try and explore different things. Everyone plays more than one instrument, and we explore the songs as far as we can. But there's other things that can happen in the songs, and that can only happen if you have other people over. We were over the course of producing this last record, Olympia. We listened to the songs, we played them, and we came up with ideas that weren't technically possible for us. The idea of having a choir, a proper choir of guest singers, was something that I've been wanting to do ever since I started making music, and this was the first time that it was possible to do that. But I think that the guests and the guest instruments and the guest vocals, they only come after the songs. We listen to the song after I've written it, after we've played it, the four of us, and then we think this could have a vibraphone, or this could have a lot of people singing and this chorus, or there could be someone playing Latin percussion over this part, and who could do that? And then we think of the person. Mm-hmm. So it's all very natural, I think.
Which is your musical influences, or what do you listen, what do you like, musically speaking?
A lot of things.
I know it's difficult to answer to this.
Yeah, it is. It is. Lately, I've been listening to a lot of music from the west coast of the United States. We named the record Olympia in parts because it's the capital of Washington State, and there's a record label there, K Records, and there's a lot of music from that label and from that particular state that I like. This is being very specific, so I can tell you a few names. I'm really into Mira, Mount Erie, Laura Veers, who was actually also from Seattle, even though now I think she lives in Oregon, but also the West Coast. Mm-hmm. In the West Coast, I'm also a huge fan of Elliott Smith, who unfortunately died after only having recorded five albums, I think, but I still listen to a lot of it. And there's also a lot of new country music that I like from the States as well. Beachwood Sparks and Gillian Welsh, Bill Callahan, M. Ward, some Ryan Adams things. I'm really into singer-songwriters who can tell you a good story in not a very long song. I think that's what I've been listening to, and what I've been trying to do at the same time.
So, if you should define your music for those who still don't know you, how would you describe?
I think what we try to do, at least, are pop songs, concise pop songs, and with just the arrangements, just the amount of arrangements that they need, not too much and not too little. That's what we're going for, I think. Short, simple songs with just the right amount of instruments playing on them.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about the musical scene in Portugal and in Lisbon in particular, which seems to be quite amazing?
It is, and I think it's getting better. It's been getting better ever since I've been making music. I've been making music for a little over 10 years now, and in that period, everything has changed around the world, and also in Portugal. And I think right now, even though probably there's less money in music than that there was 10 years ago, I mean, probably major labels have they've had more money in the past to invest in new bands.
Also because for the financial crisis. Yeah.
Also because of all of that. There's probably not as much money as there used to be and as there should be, probably, because I think this is a business and people should be able to make a living out of it. But even though there's all of that is going on at the same time, there's a lot of initiative, I think, and there's a lot of good music being put out. Some of it independently, some of it collectively, and there's a lot of great bands. There's a lot of people making a lot of different kinds of music. From you have this year, 2012, we've had Capicua, a female rapper. She made a really great album. You've had Norberto Lobo, who plays the guitar, making yet, I think, of his fourth album. All of them really, really good. You Can't Win Charlie Brown, Julian the Carjackers. There's a lot of bands making different kinds of music, and everyone, I think, happy to be doing it and doing it well. And I think it's a really good place to be, because as I was saying, you were asking me about the guests. We live in a city right now where you can think, who could we have over to sing? And immediately you think, oh, there's the guys from You Can't Win Charlie Brown, because they sing harmonies really well. And there's Madalena, she's with Nome Comum, she sings very well. And we need the vibraphone. Who plays the vibraphone? Oh, Giancarlo, who's from Mexico, he lives there and he plays the vibraphone. And that, I think, is kind of perfect.
Yeah,
that we're in the tip of Europe, but I think there's an interesting little world going on here.
And has it been easy or difficult for you to start as a band and to make? Now you are at your fourth record.
Yeah.
So far, it was hard, or you got support?
We've been going, I think, baby steps, but always in the right direction. I think there's at each record there's more people listening to us than there was at the record before, and this one was a really big jump. Also because now we're involved with a label, and they have an audience for their records, because I think they've been Henrique Amaro, who is also one of the most important DJs of the Portuguese national radio, and who's always been really up to what everyone's doing. He's always been releasing new artists. I don't know how many years, probably more than 20 years he's been doing that, and he's been doing that through Ótimos Discos. So there's that, and we have people working with us to help us promote the record. There's that, and I think there's the songs and the music and the way we recorded it. It's just better than anything we've done before, I think. And people are they know, even if they don't know technically why things are sounding better, they just do. And so there's been more airplay for us than there's ever been before, and not only on independent alternative media, but also on major national radios and major national media outlets and newspapers. So there's been more attention, there's been more people talking about us, and there's been more people at the shows, more people buying the records. So we're at a really good stage right now, and there's a lot of we have a lot of concerts scheduled for this year, and I hope that in the not too distant future we're going to be able to play outside of Portugal as well. I don't have anything concrete, but I'm hoping that's the next step, I think, for us, if we can make it.
And are you already preparing a new album or thinking about new songs?
I'm thinking about new songs, and I've begun writing them. But right now we're still focused on these and on showing them to more people. We've been lucky enough to have quite a few concerts since September when the record came out, and I really like playing these songs live. I really like talking to people after the shows. We've had quite a few memorable shows since the record came out, and I think we can look forward to a lot of them still. And the new songs, they'll naturally come along, and what we've always done is when there's a new song, we put it on the lineup and we start playing it live. Some of the songs that are on this last record are 2 years old and they've already been played live. We don't make a point of saving them for the record and not playing them live before that. We think songs tend to improve when you play them live and to change, and so if you're going to record a song that you've already played live a number of times, you record it with another kind of confidence, like you know it well, you can sing it better and play it better, and you're comfortable with it, and that's, I think, ideal. It's also good when you go and record a song that's really new and you're excited about it, but I think in my perspective, I sing them. I think I sing them better when I've sung them live before.
Yes, I understand very well.
Yeah.
And you also have another project,
Yeah.
They're Heading West.
Yeah.
What can you tell us?
They're Heading West. We're actually playing this week in Lisbon. They're Heading West was an idea. That was exactly that, to head west. So there's elements of Minta The Brook Trout, me and Mariana Ricardo. So we play some songs, some of my songs from Minta The Brook Trout. We play some of her songs because she has a project as well. And there's João Correia, who is with Julian the Carjackers, and so we play some of his songs. And then there's Sergio Nascimento, who's the drummer, who so far hasn't written any songs for this, but who is like the all-encompassing figure. So the four of us decided that we wanted to take our songs west. We decided that we wanted to try and go to America, to the West Coast, and play each other's songs. And so that's, before any rehearsals, this was the idea. This happened 2 years ago, in January 2011, and since we were able to go west in 2011 in September, we made a West Coast tour. We started in Vancouver, just on the southern tip of Canada, and we went as far as San Diego, almost in Mexico. We did, I think, eight or nine shows on the way for two or 3 weeks, and it was a wonderful experience. And the thing was, we went over there like we had this idea, we were going to go, we were going to play each other's songs, we were going to have some fun, and we had been playing them here in Lisbon. We had this project which was to raise money for the tour. We'd play once a month, always with a guest band, and then we'd go to America. Luckily we had the grants, because it wasn't just with the money from the tickets that we were able to make it over there. But when we came back, we were a band. I don't think that when we went we were a band, but when we came back we definitely were a band, because we spent 2 to 3 weeks together, playing together almost every night and spending 24 hours together. And that obviously brought us closer, and the performances were really different from the first night to the last. We've grown, I think we've grown more on those 2 weeks of tour in America than we had in like the 6 months we had it here in Lisbon, of just rehearsing and then coming home and then having a show and then not playing for 2 weeks. That was really focused and really good for us. And now what we're doing is we ever since we came back, we've been playing more of those shows. Then we had a hiatus because of Minta and that record of Olympia. We had to focus on that, and now we're going to start those sessions again. in a new place. We were in Barraca, and now we're in this other place that is called Casa Independente. And we're gonna start with the same project, which is basically once a month we go over and play. Someone plays with us. This month it's Samuel Luria. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's also a songwriter. He sings in Portuguese.
I know his name, but I never.
Yeah. And he is our first guest, and then there will be others. We always try to play couple of songs with our guest and have the guest play a couple of our songs with us. And we're going to be doing that for the next few months. And when we have enough money again, we'll go somewhere and play each other's songs and have fun. So it's very different from any other band that I've ever been with or played with, because we're just in it for having fun, playing each other's songs, and hopefully being able to travel and with this one band to promote and the music of 3 other bands, you see? Because we went to America and we sold CDs by Minta The Brook Trout, we sold these little CDs that we made for the Heading West, we sold Julian the Carjacker CDs, we sold Mariana Ricardo CDs, and with one band you have 4 bands traveling. So it's perfect. It's like this kind of mini Lisbon scene traveling all over the world.
But how could you arrange all the contacts in the United States?
Yeah, we did it over the internet. It was really easy.
Yes.
It was really easy because we had to decide which cities we wanted to visit. We looked for places on all of those cities, and then everything was really not as tough as you would think. We had. I don't think it was luck. I think it's their way of working over there. Sometimes here in Portugal things are not that easy. It's not so easy to book a concert somewhere if you've never been there, if you don't know someone who's been there before. It all works in this mouth to mouth. You have to know people who know people, and the impression I got from the States is that it doesn't exactly work like that over there. I think things are more, they're clearer. Maybe they're more professional, I think, because bands there, they travel all the time. They tour. Every band tours. They live off of that. And in a country as small as Portugal, you just don't have the same amount of culture in road culture, if you know what I mean. They have everything set up for it to be as easy as possible for a band who's on the road to book a show, because that's what bands do. They're on the road. And here it's really not very easy, because the country is small. You can only play so many places. It's not easy to be 5 days out on the road playing in different parts of the country. The country is really small, and there you can be like for 3 months on the road non-stop, not coming back home. So it's bigger.
Yes.
It's just bigger.
Yes, that's a big market.
Yeah.
So even if you are just a band who makes alternative or underground music, anyway you have a market.
Yeah,
you have
there's a market for everybody.
Enough amount of persons who are interested.
Probably, probably. Yeah. That's the impression we got. So we want to go back there as soon as we can, because it was a really good experience for us.
Okay, thank you very much for the interview, and we hope to see you in Italy also.
We hope to go to Italy as well.
Okay, so best wishes for you, for your bands.
Okay.
And for your record.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you to you.